So teenage years, I was living in the country. We were a bit outside of town, so I had a bicycle, had some mates, used to go bicycling a lot. The particular area near Castlemaine where we lived was old gold mining country, and so in the house was outside of town, so it was just bush all around, and so we used to just go exploring in the bush. Terrifies me in retrospect now, but there are tunnels into hills and we just go in those. You come out the other side of the hill and there were kind of wonky wooden timbers holding up the roof. But hey, you're a kid, it doesn't matter. Just terrifying. So did a lot of that. Built a lot of electronics during my teenage years. So my bedroom was kind of a workshop. Soldering irons and lots of electronic components. Whenever I went to Melbourne, my dad would take me to electronic shop in the city, in Little Lonsdale Street, and we'd go and buy resistors and transistors and bits and pieces, and I'd take them home and build all sorts of things. But mostly it was radios. Radios was the electronics tech of the time. Computers existed, but they were not really accessible at a personal level. That didn't come until probably mid-70s, 75, 76, the first computer kits started to appear, but they were kind of out of my price league at that point. So I didn't actually build a computer from a kit probably until I think first year university, which was in the later 70s. But I started programming when I was still at high school. So that's when I got my first sort of taste of computer programming a language called Fortran, which is very old, a very traditional programming language. And at my school, I had a teacher and he was doing some further study at Bendigo, which was the big smoke, 20, 30 kilometres away from Castlemaine. So once a week he would go up to Bendigo to do some courses. And I don't know how he managed to wangle this, but he got me the opportunity to program. So I'd write my Fortran code on what's called a coding sheet. It's like gridded paper. I'd write my code on that. He would take it to Bendigo. Some people would punch it onto cards, and then the cards would be put into the computer, and the computer would run them. This big stack of fanfold paper would come back. So, once a week. And so fanfold paper would come back and say, oh yeah, the program didn't work, there was an error here. You'd fix it up, you'd make some notes on a coding sheet, it would go back, they'd change the cards, run it again. So you had to wait a week, right, to get a turnaround of the code. But if that's all you got, you can make it work. And so I wrote programs to do all sorts of things, print biorhythm charts and stuff like that. It was fun.